it's a good segue to McGathy Game Corner. And I put together a theme song for Game Corner on the drive from Austin to Houston. So here goes.
What a wicked game to play to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do to let me dream of you.
McGathy Game Corner.
was a lot of that in the song? Were those farts?
Those were farts. Those were farts by our very own Dustin Marshall, everybody. Those were the farts that I was trying to do in the car. I was trying to record farts into the laptop, and Dan was like, "Oh, come on, let me," and took the laptop. And his farts were so gross. I feel like your feelings were a little hurt because I was like, "Your farts are so disgusting."
Why? What are they supposed to be? And what were those, by the way? It was like wicked game. It didn't sound like farts.
So we're going to play a game called Who Are You Marrying? And for this game, I did a little work before the show. I reached out on Twitter. I wanted to find a fellow redhead female. So can I please bring to the stage Caroline? Caroline, come on down.
You want to see if I can literally tell the difference between you and...
just visually?
You just want to test my face blindness? I know she's the one sitting in the chair.
Thank you, Caroline. If you wouldn't mind sitting in the chair. Thank you so much.
Now who the fuck is who? I don't know.
So Caroline and I answered the same set of questions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to present the question. I'll give two answers, and you'll have to choose which one is my answer. But we need someone to play against you. And for funsies, is there any man out here, and this is an embarrassing question to ask, but is there any man out here who thinks that they know me pretty well, who could like compete with Dan at knowing questions? Maybe. Yeah? Okay, there's. I saw your hand first. Come on down, sir.
You just maximize the chance that this podcast recording will be used in a future criminal trial.
Andrew, everybody. Welcome, Andrew.
Is there any man in the audience who thinks they know more about me than my fiance? All right. Okay, so this is going to be really fun. I didn't catch your name. What was it? Andrew. Okay.
This is Andrew.
I'm the teacher.
Now, no matter what happens, you're not calling off the wedding at this point. Like you're.
I say let's be organic about this and just see.
And I'm divorced, so I'm good with marriage. I don't want that anymore. So.
Okay, great.
So you're safe, Dan.
Okay.
Just in case I know more.
Okay.
And I'm so sorry. Oh, here we go. Got a pen. All right. So, Caroline, if you could position yourself like kind of in a way where Dan can kind of look at both of us a little bit. That was a weird way to phrase that. All right. Great. So, this is the way we're going to play. We're going to play it, and if you answer correctly, you'll hear this, and if you answer incorrectly, you'll hear this. We've heard these noises already. We're familiar with them. We like them, like they're family. All right, here we go. Here's the first question. All right, my favorite meal of all time is A, sun-dried tomato bagel with veggie cream cheese topped with tomatoes, or B, buffalo mac and cheese with a crisp beer and a side of spicy pickles or bourbon.
I'll go with the sun-dried bagel affair.
Andrew?
I'm going to go with B.
It's mine was sun-dried bagel.
Okay,
good job,
good.
Dan. Here, Caroline, can you grab that microphone? Caroline, how are you doing?
I am excellent. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What do you do, Caroline?
Oh, I am a leasing consultant in property management. So I do
Oh,
stuff
cool.
for an apartment complex, basically.
All right.
It's as interesting as it sounds.
Awesome. Okay. Here we go.
Carolina and her husband were the first in line for
Yes.
the Harmontown screening.
Boyfriend.
They came from Baton
They were.
Rouge, which I always thought was a fictional place.
Really?
I thought that C.S. Lewis made up Baton Rouge.
Well, it's funny. He did actually. It was named after the fact.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's sort of like Hobbit Town or whatever over in New Zealand.
Oh, okay. Baton Rouge, I guarantee.
All right.
The Big Easy.
No, that's New Orleans.
I know, but the Baton Rouge is sometimes referred to as the slightly smaller Easy, right?
Okay, here we go. Question number 2. And Andrew, you get to answer this question first. My childhood best friend and I used to play a game called A, the Dolly Parton game. We would wear our mother's sweaters, stuff them with water balloons to make boobs, and then we would take turns motorboating each other. Or B, we would basically make up ongoing soap opera-like stories, and a lot of those stories focused on relationships and romantic entanglements, and sassy kid sidekicks who were basically us.
I think it has to be B, because I know A was mine and probably Dan's as well.
Dan, which one is me?
I think you're the Dolly Parton.
That is correct.
What?
Andrew, it's not looking good for
And
you.
I'm not even
I'm not doing so well.
Oh.
But you have to understand that I'm playing a different game. If I get one of these wrong,
You're fucked.
it's 2 years of suffering.
Could I get another little bit of tequila? Thank you. All right. I don't know if you guys feel this way on the stage, and this is not cool of me to really talk about the lighting, but the way the lighting is, I feel like I'm hiding in a closet with one bulb swinging back and forth. All right.
It's mildly terrifying up here. Like I don't know how you guys.
I think that's that's the
a little
nature of
scary.
being on stage. I think it's our job to suck it up.
You're totally right.
For them,
You're totally right.
the lights being here to illuminate us so that they can see us.
No, I know. I'm less complaining about the light. I feel self-conscious because I feel kind of like weird.
You're doing a great job, Erin.
Thank you, Andrew.
Jeff who?
Sorry. Oh, God.
Jeff who?
All right. Next question. Dan, you get to answer this first. My mother's maiden name is A, Hartley, B, Dunkel.
You better know this.
A, Hartley, B, Dunkel.
Oh, fuck.
My mother is dead.
I mean, it doesn't even matter at this point if I get it right because I already revealed that I don't know. So it's a matter of whether I guess right, and I don't know. That would be kind of an empty victory because I could flip a coin. I think it's Dunkel.
All right, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Dan.
It is Dunkel. It is Dunkel. All right, Dan has 3 points. Andrew has 1 point. Andrew, you get to go first in this round. Next question. When I was a kid, I was afraid that A, my dead grandfather could see everything I could see, so I would close my eyes when I got out of the bathtub so he couldn't see me naked. Or B, I was afraid that I would be separated from my family and would wander the streets forever, or that members of my family would be lost forever. Sometimes amnesia was involved.
I'm going to guess B.
All right, Dan?
I think... Oh, shit. I think that... So I don't remember you ever talking about either of these things. So I'm trying to figure out which one sounds more like you. I think that because you're inherently narcissistic, the answer is the non-empathy related one. And the grandfather one involves thinking about other people. So I think that it's B.
No, I was afraid that Pinckney McGathy could see through my eyes And so I would close my eyes when I was using the bathroom or getting out of the bathtub or changing my clothes.
All right. Well, maybe you became narcissistic later in life.
Pinckney McGathy from Houston and worked for NASA. Fun fact.
And who developed a little-known technology for NASA in which you could see through your living grandchild's eyes. It was actually a legitimate fear.
All right, next question. My first CD was A, They Might Be Giants, Flood, or B, Glenn Miller Orchestra, In the Mood. A, They Might Be Giants, B, Glenn Miller Orchestra. I believe Dan is going first.
I think your first CD was your first CD that
Yes,
you
my first
bought
CD.
with your money?
No, just the first CD in your possession.
Aha. So Glenn Miller.
Andrew?
Yeah, Glenn Miller, definitely.
That is correct. Caroline is much cooler than me.
That was my second CD.
Oh, that was your second CD?
No, the one you did. I have Glenn Miller's second.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're talking to the microphone.
Sorry.
Oh. That was her second CD. That's interesting. Me and the same girl that used to play the Dolly Parton game would play this game called M&M where we would like listen to the dances and pretend we got married and then would take our hands and put them over our mouths and pretend to make out and then we would have a baby. Huh.
Why don't more... are there any gay men in the audience that are no? That's a little remarkable. Because I'm wondering if well, it's like every girl I've ever talked to, they always their developmental years. It's like this. Incredible...
Did you not do anything like that? I've always assumed that boys kind of.
I had a
did
best
similar things
friend.
when
I had a lot. No, guys. We don't do that.
But don't
it's
guys like pee together and stuff? I mean, like
we
maybe that's
pee
a
together and we
Louisiana
show
thing,
each other our
yeah.
wieners and
Yeah, you get like that
It's the
trough
same thing.
in elementary school, and one guy stands on the end, and you try to shoot it across and hit the guy standing over there.
with your pee or
Yeah, with
okay.
your pee. With your dick, if you're blessed. You know,
I mean,
like-
you'll hear the craziest shit if you go like people that go, oh, summer camp, we would do this, we would all jerk off in a bucket, and it gets a little weird, but it's all kind of penis based, and like the penis is a lightsaber, and we would it's not, but girls like they just like almost everyone I've ever talked to in their early years, there's these stories where they just like, oh, this is how you socialize. You go through this stage where with another girl you practice being boys and girls together. Like, well, I was Fonzie, and
Yeah, I don't think it's every girl. I know for me it felt.
No,
like
I don't
an
want anyone listening to feel weird if it didn't happen.
No,
I just
for
mean
me,
that
for me and my friend, it really felt like an extension of playing house, which girls do like to play. We like to play a lot of house, and we like to.
But with each other, I do. When I was a kid, when I was like 9 or 10, I think, me and my best friend, we started playing Pizza Boy.
Oh no!
Which if it had an accurate title would have been called Pillow Humping. Because the game was he and I would pretend to be pizza delivery guys. We would ring the doorbell of my home and pretend that girls answered, walk into a living room which we would pretend had 2 invisible girls in it, and we were delivering pizza. And then we would make small talk, and we would sit down, each with one of these large couch pillows. So we're 10 years old, so there's like these 70s sofa pillows that are like as big as us. And we would put our arms around them and practice talking to them and be like, yeah, so what's your name? Oh, Stacy? And he's doing the same thing in the same room. We're talking to pillows. And then we would start making out with the pillows.
That's the
and
same
then
thing.
me and my friend.
That's the same thing.
I know it's the same thing, except the only thing different is that men have this kind of inherent homophobia where like we don't practice on each other. I think there's like a really specific line there, and I don't know if it's nature or nurture that draws that line. I'm sure it's nurture because we're all human. But it's just so funny that like when I really think about it, Because when I hear that from girls, I'm like, oh, yeah, we would come over and she'd be Pinky Tuscadero and I'd be Fonzie, and then we'd be like, oh, so you guys were just making out, but it was like a game.
Right.
But now I'm really thinking about it. I'm going, oh yeah, no, me and my 10-year-old friend humping pillows next to each other, high-fiving, like celebrating how straight and awesome we are, humping pillows, and then like we would go climb a tree and talk about. I actually remember.
Did your pillow have a name?
Definitely. Like that was part of the whole thing. Was like they had names. Like, oh, mine's Stacy and mine's Ashley, and then I remember going and climbing a tree with my best friend, and like I remember I have an emotional memory, a deep emotional bookmark of climbing a tree with my friend after doing one of these sessions, and. And sitting in the bough of a willow tree in Milwaukee in the summer breeze, and
That's not commentary.
Well, it's not anything. It's a random sound.
That's creative.
And me going like just this is a lull in the conversation, and I go, yeah, I'm thinking about proposing to Stacy. and just silence from my friend. And I remember just like I don't think we ever did it again after that, because I think that's the line that got drawn between the people that end up at Ren fairs and the people that end up, at Verizon. I think that I was like, yeah, I will, yes. What is the difference between any of this? This is a real person.
I think it's the same. As little girls aren't socialized to like not touch each other.
Right.
I know
it doesn't make you gay, bro.
Right. When me and Megan were doing it, it wasn't like romantic. When we were doing it. When we were play acting these things, it wasn't ever romantic. There was never a moment where it even occurred to us, oh, girls do this together. This could be a sexual thing. Like if someone was to walk in, it would look like it would, We also took turns. Like we played out this long story about these two young women, because we always talked about how we wanted to go to college together and then we would have an apartment. And so we play acted this like episodic thing where we were two young, cool women in the city and we both had boyfriends, but we had to pretend to be each other's boyfriends. And so whenever I would be like, I want to go to, and we got to name our boyfriends. My boyfriend's name was David, I think. I was like, wait, oh no, your name's Dan. Sorry. Sorry. I had a moment where I was like, oh.
I wish I could just play frogs croaking or something like random. Like,
Dan, I played the banjo. I played the banjo because it felt like an outside thing. Like you're in the tree.
It's a random sound. Those banjos. It couldn't have been more disparate.
Will you forgive me for playing the banjo noise?
I'll forgive you, but I won't stop shaming you. I condition people. That's what I do. I punish them when they do things wrong, and then they stop. I'm a behaviorist.
I have a question. How old was the pillow humping thing? Like, just that, because I'm a guy, so I had something like that. And I'm just
wait. What do you mean? How old was it? I was like 10 or 11.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same thing. Like 10. It's.
Yeah. But
I just realized I'm a little bit more normal, hopefully.
But here's the weird thing about the pillow humping. That memory with me and my friend, like both humping pillows next to each other, looking at each other humping pillows and being like, yeah, it feels good, right, bro? As part of some kind of play acting thing, like playing house and playing the role of men who are like doing it to women as pizza delivery guys. That I also don't think it was as sexual. I don't think it was sexual. I think we were pre-puberty and we were doing this thing that there was enjoyment, there was social like endorphins or dopamine was spiking, but there was no arousal and the reason I know that is because a couple years later something incredible happened, and it was very private, and I wouldn't have shared it with anybody. And I also wonder if that's nature versus nurture. When a little boy discovers physical groin area pleasure, like if it's nurture or nature, that the little boy immediately goes, "This is a secret," I am Howard Hughes. I have invented something that no one else can know about. I am dedicating the next 16 hours a day for the next 35 years to this. Because I was like watching Mork and Mindy, and
hopefully just Mindy.
I was just a latchkey. Hopefully, because otherwise, gay, bro.
Right.
Like, who wants to fuck Mork?
Oh my
man?
God.
Fucking Nan, no, man. I was like laying on my stomach watching Mork and Mindy, looking at Pam Dauber. High five, and was like moving my slowly my pelvis is moving.
But if you were looking at Mork, it would have been okay.
That's an amazing meta moment. The guy saying too soon said it too soon. I just remember like moving and moving, watching Pam Dauber, and then the movement. There's like a chain reaction, like moving. I'm gonna keep moving. Pam Dauber, keep moving, and then the unthinkable, the unexperienced, the most incredible thing that had ever happened to me in my life happening, which didn't involve, at the time, not to get too clinical, did not involve any liquid, because my body was just getting to that. It was like at that point. So it was all it was just this shudder and like, oh, and the last thing on my mind was my friends. I wanted to, like a sick cat, I wanted to go into a cave and just do this by myself forever, 6 times a day. And my point being that's when the real shit started. That's basically who I am now, is that kid who was playing pizza guy and just miming coitus next to his best friend in the living room. It's weird. It's like it was sexual pantomime, but it wasn't sexual. So I guess guys and girls not that different. It's just that, but there is that weird, I think there's is it socialization though that makes two boys not in those moments reach out or use each other? Like, why wouldn't we? And do some boys do that? And yeah, all kinds of questions. I guess you guys aren't the ones to ask. We should have a child psychologist come up here, maybe.
Maybe it's sort of like, okay, so there's this whole theory, like if you give kids less toys, they're more imaginative and creative, right? And they like make their own toys and do their own crap, right? Well, guys kind of have a prop, if you will, like from early on. We don't, so we've got to come up with more shit, right? Like
that's an amazing theory. But I don't think. I also think that all of us are wearing, because like you guys aren't, these girl stories, you're not taking off your pants. I mean, I've been a nanny and I've worked with many boys who do the same thing and act out the same stuff and are physical with each other and with each other, with other boys. Yeah, kissing each other. Well, me and my friend never kissed. We put our hands over our mouths and like pretended to kiss. But I've walked in on little boys like acting out, like prepubescent boys, just like acting out these scenarios in the same way that girls are acting them out. It's like a 3-year-old little girl carrying around a baby doll. She's not actually wanting to have a baby at 3 years old. You've walked in on little boys. Get specific so that this podcast can really switch into high gear. But also, because it's an important distinction. What do you mean? You've walked into them doing what? Because we're drawing a very fine line here. I humped a pillow next to my friend, but girls, I'm saying, like, it's a fine distinction, but the girls, when I was a nanny, there was a time when I walked in on two friends. They would be 9 years old, acting out a doctor-nurse scenario, which on paper would be a very sexy thing. Like, walked in on a, like, is this your butt? Oh, look at that. And what probably had... What was the answer? Keep searching. Is this your butt? Yes, that's my butt.
We tend to ask that question later in life too.
So I think
if a doctor asked me, "Is this your butt?" I would definitely walk out and ask for a refund.
You should stop going to a 9-year-old doctor.
Yeah, if you can't tell me.
I know it's not your specialization, but
you should definitely.
In the same way that me and my friend acted out this like apartment scenario, I think they had seen like a movie where there was like a sexy nurse doctor situation or something where they were acting it out and trying to figure it out. But it was like it could have been a thing.
Right. Because you saying one kid was naked and the other kid was kind of examining him.
I don't remember exactly. They were in some phase of undress. There was something happening, and when I opened the door, they were definitely like ashamed about what was going on. But it clearly was really innocent, and they weren't trying to like make their bodies feel good or anything.
That's kind of interesting, isn't it? The book of Genesis and so many origin stories like that awareness, like self-awareness, and where it intersects with primal childhood sexual awareness, the Freudian impulse and all this stuff where. It's all about this idea that we're born innocent but we have some kind of our awareness of ourselves and who we are is simultaneous with this like possibility of punishment, the shame, the idea of like that we mythologize, like we have these gods that are like parents that they do the exact same thing. They come into a bedroom and they catch us being people, and they say, and then we immediately, not before that person's eyeballs touch us, but after, like before that, we're innocent. We're playing doctor. We're just having fun. We're following our bliss, and then it's this moment when these adult eyeballs like see us, and we even before the adult reacts, we go, oh. I'm a horrible creature. What am I doing? Like this must look terrible to you. I can't explain this. This isn't what it looks like. I think that's really fascinating because humans are inherently infantile as primates. We retain infantile characteristics into adulthood, which is why we survived. And so we're essentially like puppies or kittens or baby chimps like our whole lives. And we have these mythologies because we're neurotic. And we have these mythologies where we have these parents from the clouds that walk into our bedrooms and go, "What are you doing?" And we all tell each other at 40 years old, we go like, "Well, we're pieces of shit. Like, what are you doing? We should pass a law against this." And of course, and it's all behind us like these little kids playing doctor. It's like oh, we all know our little wieners and our little cracks are filthy little pieces of shit, like horrible things that exude toxicity, and that touching them makes us bad people in one way or another, and that basically underneath our clothes we're terrible, gross, slimy little organisms that are horrible for thinking about ourselves and each other. We all agree on that, right? So now let's get down to this Senate hearing, and it's like we've got neckties on, and we're talking about balancing budgets and how are you going to do this and protect each other from that, but it's like we're just little babies that just want to like look at each other's little no-nos.
All right, Dan has 4 points and Andrew has 2. All right, I believe this is...
Like this whole time, the whole audience was like, fuck, when are they going to get back to that game? Jesus Christ, it's like the Dukes of Hazzard like just jumped over the ramp. How are they going to land?
All right. That was my joke. All right. So we're going to go from now on. I'm just going to ask each of you individual questions. We're not going to have each of you answer the question. So Dan, this is your question. Here we go. My ultimate dream vacation would be going on a cattle drive with my closest friends where we herd cattle on horseback and sit around a campfire every night and share secrets. Or I would really love to just randomly explore different foreign countries on a whim. Maybe I'd start with Morocco.
You're the cattle drive.
Yay! All right. Here we go. Andrew.
The applause has become like it's just like water dripping out of a bad shower head.
Okay. Here we go. Next question. My favorite color is A, yellow, all sunshine, all of the time, or B, red, more specifically an orangish red like persimmon.
The red, the orangish red.
Yellow.
That is correct, Andrew.
Andrew's correct?
Yeah.
Oh.
Whoops.
No, that was for me.
Just going through that. Yeah, it is persimmon. All right. Next question. My least favorite mode of transportation is A, driving. I love my car, but other cars scare me. Or B, a cruise ship. This is Dan's question.
Cruise ship.
That is correct. Good job. All right. Andrew, if I was reincarnated as a building, I would be A, brown brick pottery studio with cherry wood floors and stained glass windows, or B, an amazing 100-year-old observatory on a hilltop.
Well, you put amazing in the second one, so I would have to think it'd be the one that's amazing.
Nope. Caroline is amazing. Good job. All right. Obviously, this is too. So here we're at 5 points and 5 points. I loved the conversation about the kids' psychology. I thought that was great.
Yeah. There's 30 questions left.
We'll just do one more question about how I choose to die, if I got to choose how I died. And this is for both of you. A, bravely pilot a spaceship filled with evil people into the sun. They celebrate that every day, they celebrate that day every year with festive cakes and amazing parties and all of my favorite music. Oh, and I pilot that spaceship into the sun when I'm ancient and ready to go anyway. Or B, I get drunk on Prosecco and Aperol and fall asleep in a vat of marshmallow fluff. While I sleep, I sink deeper into the fluff and eventually suffocate in my sleep.
I think you want to drive evil people into the sun and be celebrated with cake.
Andrew?
Yeah, that's the way to go.
No, I want to get drunk and pass out on a
Okay. All right. Well, I was gonna say I kind of admire the other person, but okay, I'm glad. Like you learn something every day. That's good.
All right, thank you. That was the game. I am having an out-of-body experience. She's leaving.
Okay.
Well, Caroline, everybody. And Andrew.
Caroline,
thank you so much.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Andrew. All right.
You guys were awesome.